I shall not ask any more of any man than what that man can deliver, but I do ask this. Are we not king's men? On the king's mission? I did not note any fear in the eyes of the Spanish as they passed us by. Are we not king's men? Aye! Hands aloft and bear away! Stave on ahead to Whitecap Bay!
Hi, I'm Nat, he's Matt, and we got your geek news right here.
Now, we are talking about a movie that really wasn't supposed to happen. The Pirates of the Caribbean was a trilogy, and we are now talking about the fourth film.
Which really just felt like a movie TV episode, I'm just saying.
Yeah, true, but I gotta say, my least favorite parts of Pirates of the Caribbean 1 through 3 were Kiera Knightley and Orlando Bloom. So already, this was off to a good start by not having
Yeah, exactly. Like, I know you more adamantly disliked those two people, actors, characters, whatever it may be. For me, I like them. Like, I like them in the movies, but I will say that it made zero difference to my enjoyment of a Pirates of the Caribbean movie not having Kiera Knightley or Orlando Bloom. It really made no difference.
Absolutely. And replacing them with Penelope Cruz, who is smoking hot, and Ian McShane, who just rocked those smoldering beard embers of Blackbeard like a champ.
Oh,
what
yeah.
a voice!
Yeah, I know!
So
he
good.
was really, really cool, for sure.
But one thing about Blackbeard that I don't remember in any of the legend was that sword. What the hell? That just somehow had control over ships, or... Like, it required a bit of an explanation, and we just didn't get it.
Exactly.
That bugged me a bit about Blackbeard.
Exactly, because when he first did it, I couldn't tell whether, was it him that had the superpower? Like, was he a wizard pirate, or was it the sword? Like, what was the source of the power? It was unknown.
I think Wizard Pirate should be a Dungeons & Dragons character. That's an excellent class. Wizard Pirate. Now, speaking of Wizard Pirate, Jeffrey Rush was... magnificent.
He was cool.
It was so great to have him back, but I would have loved to see Blackbeard take the pearl and take his leg from him instead of just hearing about it twice.
No, yeah, exactly. I absolutely agree. When you find out what happened to the Black Pearl and then the story behind it, yeah, you're right. It's show, don't tell. Isn't that what they always teach you? Show, don't tell?
Yes! I mean, as beautiful as it was to have Jeffrey Rush tell the story, because it had so much fire and passion in it.
He's so good.
I would have preferred to see it.
Now, here's my big question. Was it really that old man at the beginning that ended up being the entire reason that everyone started looking for the Fountain of Youth?
Yeah, was that it? Was it honestly just...
What was the old...
Like, was it just the word of a thing that came up in some fisherman's net, according to the fisherman?
Yeah.
Like, are the Spanish that gullible? I mean, obviously it was true, but it begs a question. You know, I felt like that first scene was just a bit of a bad History Channel TV movie. It just felt cheap.
Oh,
there
yeah,
was no scale. I didn't recognize characters right off the bat. It just felt cheap.
No, yeah, it was definitely kitschy. And again, like it felt like a TV episode. That's really what it felt like to me. Like, this movie was fun. It was entertaining. Like, it brought back the best elements of Pirates of the Caribbean, mainly being Johnny Depp and Jeffrey Rush.
And pirates.
It didn't. It just felt like a TV show. It felt like a TV episode.
Yeah, that first scene should have just been Blackbeard versus Barbossa.
Yeah.
That's what that should have been.
Yeah.
That would have caught my attention. That would have been a good hook. I just thought it started weak. But then we got into the Fountain of Youth plot.
Oh my gosh.
Now that part...
Well, what did you think of it?
Well, you know, it kind of verged on the absurd, how complicated it is to operate the Fountain of Youth. How ancient and long lost could this legendary thing be? If the words are in Spanish from maybe a few hundred years ago with the cups that they've got, like, I wanted something ancient. I wanted the Holy Grail ancient, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I really enjoyed what we got, but it was probably just me wanting an Indiana Jones movie.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, clearly. That's definitely... Because it did. It had that adventure element and all the different... trials and tribulations, and you're right, the grails, they were, well, I mean, it did verge on the absurd, especially with the part where you're like, then you need the teardrop of a mermaid. Oh, and when she's happy, it's more potent than when she's upset, or whatever it was that they said. Anyway, you know what, I will say, though, the mermaids I found fascinating. I thought the mermaids were very cool. I thought they were, well, clearly they're beautiful, but I loved how savage they were, and I thought, yeah. I liked the mermaids. I thought the mermaids were cool.
And I liked the leg surprise when she fell out of the water coffin.
Yeah. I was not expecting that.
I didn't see that one coming.
No.
One thing I really loved was the fact that the Spanish had this very unexpected motivation to get to the fountain. You've got Barbossa who wants to get to Blackbeard. You've got Blackbeard who wants it to keep himself alive. You've got Johnny Depp who's hunting it down for no apparent reason whatsoever except, curiosity. But then when the Spanish show up, what they do to the fountain caught me completely off guard.
Same.
It was
I was
genius.
just like, so the entire motivation for you was that it goes against your faith, and so you're going to crush it? What? What?
It was great.
I couldn't believe
even though it made no sense, how the Spanish got there or how the British got there, why anyone knew that they could get there at all, really. But it also bothered me a bit that the fountain looked like the Guardian of Forever from the original Star Trek. Did anyone else think the shape of that with the...
It was interesting. I don't know. I mean, the movie was good. Penelope Cruz was, again, smoking hot. I love that it was her that was, in disguise. Oh, here's the other part. There were so many plot holes or questions that were left. Like, when she's like, oh, well, he's my father. And then Johnny Depp thinks she's lying. And then, no, it's real. And then, the final scene, post-credits, where, that thing happens with Penelope Cruz. I'm not allowed to say it. I don't want to spoil it for people. I just thought that was it was pointless. It was a pointless post-credit scene.
A little bit. There were a few pointless things about this film that bugged me. Like, where was the love story? Was it Jack Sparrow and Angelica? Because Jack Sparrow's not the kind of character that you can ever really take seriously in that sort of situation. No. Or was it the missionary and the mermaid that he named Serena? Because it really looked like he named her on the spot.
I think
but
so,
then,
too.
What happened to them at the end?
No, but
that was just weird.
No, okay, honestly, I actually thought they were very cute. Like, the missionary, initially I was just like, oh, he's this, this outcast on a pirate ship being tied up to the mast. And then he all of a sudden got hot. I was just like, hold on, no shirt, muscles here. Like, when did you become good looking? And then, all of a sudden there was this love story with him and the mermaid that can walk, and it makes him, he falls in love on the spot. Question his faith? I don't even know. But I will say that I felt like the Little Mermaid came to life. It was the Little Mermaid. That story was the Little Mermaid.
I just didn't think that bringing in that storyline to prop up the completely passionless storyline of Angelica and Jack, I just don't think they work together. No. I don't think you need two half love stories. You need one whole love story.
Which is why this also felt like a cheesy TV episode.
Yeah, like the A story and the B story out of a TV series? Absolutely. I mean, I thought, by and large, the film was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than the second or third of the series, for sure, because I just liked the new ingredients a lot. Although, a bit of consistency to Jack's character would have been nice. He jumps out of a flaming lighthouse full of whale blubber into the deep waters below, and yet in the next scene is potentially terrified of jumping off of a cliff of pretty much the equal height? Come on.
Now, and I don't disagree with you. For me, the first one was just my favorite one, being brought into that world. It was magical, everything like that. The fourth one, I could do with or without it. Regardless, I agree. It was fun to watch. Did it need to be in 3D? Probably not. I was more excited by the Green Lantern in 3D trailer that came on before it. Holy bejesus. And that's a whole other episode.
See, I didn't bother seeing it in 3D because I could tell that this was just not going to be worthwhile.
Yeah.
So in the case of this one, it just somehow felt less epic and less massive than I was hoping for.
Yeah.
But as long as they keep getting Jeffrey Rush and Johnny Depp to knock out those killer Barbossa and Sparrow performances, I'm going to keep watching, but not in 3D.
Yeah, exactly. And I would agree with that. I would keep on watching them as well. Not in 3D. Maybe I'd question whether I'd watch it in the theater either. But they're definitely entertaining and good for a good
Ooh, wow, that's serious. I mean, the movie is big enough for me. Although, I've got to say, if we wind up with, having Barbossa set up as the master of this wicked ship with this as a wizard pirate, and we've got Jack Sparrow, the master of an entire fleet. I think, we're set up well for what's going to happen in the next films, and it looks like from the post-credit scene, we're going to have a little bit of Penelope Cruz in there too.
Oh, as a side note with Penelope Cruz, do you know that she was filming that while she was pregnant? And at that final scene where she is clearly just wearing the loose white shirt, it's because she's like 7 months pregnant.
Oh my god, really?
Yep.
Hot mama. She looked great.
I know. Well, it's Penelope
Go
Cruz.
Yeah, true. All right, well, next on the docket, we've got X-Men First Class, followed very shortly by the Green Lantern.
I am
and of
so
course,
excited.
we've got some kind of Transformers movie coming on as well. And this is going to be a pretty busy summer, because at some point, I think Captain America pops in, too.
Oh my gosh.
So we've got ourselves a serious summer of trying to keep up with it. And guys, we're doing the best we can, separated by an entire continent. But with luck, we'll be able to get the X-Men First Class one up as soon as possible.
Exactly. So, as always, keep up with all your geeky news and fun stuff on yourgeeknews.com. And we'll be back next
And we'll
time.
see you soon.
Bye.
Would be that, first mate.
Mutiny, Captain.
Mutiny. And what fate befalls mutineers? Now we know the answer to that, do we not? Mutineers.